Hello and welcome. I am doing my first remote on-site video recording. I am at Mach 1 window tints in Hernando, Mississippi, where I'm gonna get my Stormtrooper all tinted up. There will be video indoors as the guy works on it, because I'm not doing it, because clearly I don't know what I'm doing, but he does, and you can get the result yourself and see you later.
Welcome inside the Mach 1. By the way, some of you may have been wondering, why isn't this the Viofo A139 dashcam install video? And that's because Amazon has not gotten me the hardwiring kit that I needed. I knew it was going to come in a day or so after the camera itself. But by the way, the dashcam came a day early, but I'm still waiting on the hardware kit. As soon as it gets here, me and my friend Brian will be putting it in. Speak of the devil. There's my friend Brian right there. He's the reason we're at this particular place, because this guy Corey, who's with the beard doing the window, who's the owner of Mach 1, he does all the Hernando police cars, does all, the striping and all the cool stuff that you put on police cars. So he does that. So that's how we got to know Brian. And then Brian started bringing his own cars there. And now I'm bringing my own cars there. Oh, and as I'm talking to Corey, it turns out that he has worked on my cars before, because my last several cars, the Cadillac, the Mercedes, the other Mercedes, and the Lincoln, so we're going back like 12 years now, I all had done up in Bartlett with this guy, Joe Christian, who was at Extreme first and then started his own place called Word of Mouth. Well, Corey worked with him at both places, and when I started describing my cars, he said, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that put the paint protection film on that one. So he's actually worked on my cars before. So it was funny. So it's kind of come full circle. I'm back with Corey again. He worked on my original cars years ago, and now he's back working on my latest car, and doing a fine job, I might add. He's a really interesting guy. So after he worked with Joe Christian at Word of Mouth, and then he started his own place, and he's very good. I mean, like famous good. This is how good he is. He has tinted the last 3 presidential limousines. So when a new president gets elected, they get a new limo, apparently. I did not know this. I learned this from Corey. And so for the last 3 times, not this time, but Trump and the 2 Obamas, he had the contract. He got flown up to Washington, spent the weekend, got it all tricked out. Had to get a security clearance before the first one, the first Obama. So what was that, 2008? So he had to get security clearance, and he said that was hard. And he said, by the way, the only reason he didn't do a Biden is because he doesn't like Joe Biden. And clearly it's not because I didn't ask, but it's not because he's a Democrat, because, again, he did Obama twice. So it's not the Democrat part. There's something about Joe Biden that rubs him the wrong way. I don't know. I didn't want to get into it. But anyway, so... By the way, he turned down, that's like big money, like tens of thousands of dollars that he gets for doing that. So he turned that down because he didn't like Joe Biden. That's how successful he is. By the way, while we were there, he was waiting for a car to be trucked down, trailered down from St. Louis, Missouri, because the guy specifically it was like a $300,000 car, and the guy said he specifically wanted Corey. And so he's getting Corey. They're paying a lot of money to get this thing down to him and back. So anyway, so he's very busy. In fact, I want paint protection film, and he said it would be a couple of weeks. Oh, so here, let me make him more busy let me throw up a card. That's off of their website. Now, I don't know if you can see, but it's very faint. But embossed into that wrap on that car is the name of the company and the phone number, but I have thrown it into a call out so you can actually read it. So, but if you call, be aware. As of now, right now, he's 2 weeks out on appointments, and so it may be even worse by the time you get around to it. But that's how good he is. I mean, that people bring their cars to him from all over. So that's pretty much the end of that window. I did not show you. We're switching over now. I cut out the driver's side door window because I figure you've seen that. He's now working in the back, on the back window, which of course you really can't see in there real well. And I didn't want to ask him if I could stick a camera inside the car because he was already being nice enough to let me film while he's working. He didn't really seem to care for it, but he didn't complain. Hey, there's old Dr. Wiggo walking into the frame. So I figured now, while he's doing stuff you can't really see, I will talk to you about the film he's using. So here's the sheet that shows you the different kinds of film that LLumar makes, the Formula One films. The classic series, the cheap stuff that you see on most cars, which says good heat rejection and enhanced style. Then they have the next one up, the Comfort series, which says excellent heat rejection and enhanced style. I don't know what that means. Then Pinnacle series, which is the excellent heat rejection and enhanced style with no signal interference. And then the Stratos series, which is the most advanced hybrid matrix Nano-Ceramic technology for our maximum heat rejection and enhanced style with no signal interference. In other words, this is the top of the line stuff. And yes, that is what Corey is putting on my car. So the first column is percent light, and I've done the 30s, so the visible light transmission is all around 30 because it's 28, and anyway, 28% in Mississippi is the legal limit. Total solar energy rejection, you can see, or maybe you can't, but top to bottom, it's 36, 46, 56, 59. So this does 59% solar energy rejection, this is what the main reason. I live in Tennessee, and I also spend summers visiting Texas, and it gets really hot. So energy rejection is great. Then the next column over, third column, is percent IR energy rejection, and that goes 22, 40, 61, 66 on the film I'm getting. And then the percent selective IR rejection goes 29, 54, 88, 96 for the Stratos, which is, again, what he's putting on my car. Percent glare reduction, it's all about 63, 65 for all of them. And visible light reflection, it's almost none. These are not mirrored metallic or whatever. So that's the tint he's putting on. And now he's still working on the back. Okay, I think I'll probably jump ahead to where he's working on something you can see. So hold on a sec. Okay, I have jumped ahead to somewhere more interesting. Check this out. I'm getting my windshield tinted. Now, it's not the 30 that I was just showing you all the numbers for. This is 70. So it's 70% of the light gets through. But it has comparable... Oh, hi, Gabriella. It has comparable, heat reflection, all that. I mean, not nearly as good because the darkness also helps. It's not just but the Nano-Ceramic, even... By the way, LLumar sells clear tint that does heat reflection. So you don't have to have dark windows to get that solar rejection. So and again, I'm learning things. They do this on the outside, right? So he's measuring and cutting on the outside, and then he will take it onto the inside in a little while. I'll probably skip ahead to that in a sec. And then you're also going to see, well, I'll just, so see, he's going to go around and cut it all here. And then he'll go stick it on, they have those glass boards on the walls where they stick it to while they wait for it, while they prepare, and then they'll bring it inside. So he's doing the windshield. And by the way, in the car after, you can't really tell. Although Brian did point out as we were driving back home that we didn't put our sunglasses back on in the car, and it was a very bright sunny day, as you saw when I was outside, and you'll see again when I go back outside when they're done. So it's pretty good. I mean, I went ahead and put on my sunglasses. After he pointed that out, I put mine on because I went, yeah, well, yeah, it is a little bright, but the glare was nowhere near as bad as it was without this. So this windshield tint is really good, and 70% is the legal minimum. You can't go any lower than that in Tennessee. So I'm getting the 70 on the windshield to be legal. Also, I wouldn't really want to go dark. You don't want to see Brian. Brian had Corey do like 20 or maybe even 15 on his black Jeep that he had before he got his Charger. And it was so dark. I mean, at night you had to roll the windows down to see if anybody was coming because you had no vision at night out of. And he also had the windshield tinted relatively dark. I don't think it was 15. It might have been 30. It was way too dark. 70. This is gonna be nice. So you see him getting it all cut and measured and getting everything done, and I got the heat gun. They do a lot of spraying water. They use a lot of clay bars. They do a lot of stuff, and then they use a lot of heat gun to get it to lie down right. But you can already see the difference well, you saw it on the other side too when you put it on. And then later I'm going to have a thing where I show it all. I'm talking way too much. I think we've seen enough of this. Let's skip ahead again. Okay, so now I've skipped ahead a bit. Now we have Gabe up there. He's measuring and cutting the sunroof. And Gabriella. Gabe and Gabriella. By the way, I think Gabe's real name is Gabriel. So Gabriel and Gabriella, no relation. But Corey calls them both Baby G. So when he says, Baby G, come here, they both come running. So maybe he does that on purpose. I don't know. But anyway, so Gabe is working on the sunroof tint. Again, cutting it and measuring it on the outside, and then he'll come down on the inside. Oh, and then they have this fancy light they use so they can see what they're doing. Okay, we will pause again while I skip ahead some more. So now we've skipped ahead to where Corey has got the windshield up on the board there, on the glass wall, and now he's going to put it inside the car. And I think once it gets inside the car, it's not going to be real easy to see what's going on, so we may be skipping ahead shortly here too. But you see, he's got Gabe. He's got Gabe over here in the driver's seat, so that they're both, because it's the whole size of the windshield. It's very large. Well, you saw it hanging on the wall there when Corey grabbed it. So they're putting that on. Okay, let's skip ahead again. Okay, skipping ahead again. Here's me saying, hey, you missed a spot. What's that? Boy, he must hate having people in there when he's doing it. Why is there there? Why aren't you doing this? And I don't know if you can see, but inside you can see Gabe, and I think Gabriella's in there with him too. They're still doing the sunroof. So they're still finishing up the sunroof, and Brian and me and Corey are all walking around. And okay, well, I guess there's nothing more to see here, so we will skip ahead again. So now we're all done, and Gabe and Gabriella are going to pull it around front and to the front of the place so that they can take pictures and do everything that they need to do in the front. And by the way, I'm going to grab up my camera and follow them on out. That is a good looking car, isn't it? Even the other guy, by the way, he's been working on a Land Rover Defender from like 1962 that was in front of my car this entire time. And he was having a heck of a time with it. So let's jump ahead to outside in the front. So out front, there's Corey's wife, who also works there. And she works the front desk. She's taking pictures of the car for their website. By the way, I doubt I'll end up on the website, or I doubt I'll end up anywhere, because he does way cooler. Like I said, that one coming down from St. Louis, that's like a $300,000 car. He's done $1 million cars. He's done $500,000 cars. He's got way, but boy, that tint looks good, doesn't it? Check it out. Although I don't really have a before, but what I do have is I did a drone test with taking drone video of the and I duplicated a lot of those shots, so I will show you those together. So hold on just a second and we'll get that going. So apparently when I said duplicate shots, I meant kind of close to duplicate shots, and I apparently am very bad at editing. Now I understand why all these big YouTubers I watch, like Marquez and Linus and Jay's 2 Cents and all those guys, have all hired professional editors to do their stuff, because this was really hard and it still looks like crap. Anyway, here's just a little drone fly up and fly down to close out the video. Again, next week we'll finally get to the dash cam install. And again, that may last for 2 weeks, because it may be actually this one, look, this one's turning out really long and it's not even that much. Anyway, thanks for coming. Enjoy the tinting. I'm not sure that my before and after do you any good at all, but I tried my best. Anyway, I'm very happy with it. It was very expensive, by the way. It cost like just over $1,000 to get it all done. But so come back for the Viofo 139 install, and I got plenty more bling to go too. It's stacking up in the office. So I will see you soon.